to Ria and Alka show. We are so grateful to be with you. We get the opportunity to be with you. We love to implore our knowledge on you when it comes to money, mindset, and success. And what does that mean to you? So, you know, this show is all about money, mindset, and success. And we want you to have the best of life, whether it's in your business, in your personal life, so that you leverage and you excel to the point that you need to be in your life. So with Ria and I, we're going to be sharing our knowledge to be imploring on you so that you have a successful life. So without further ado, my name is Alka.
And I'm Ria, and welcome to our show.
So good morning, everyone. Today, I am going to be sharing chapter 13 from my book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this book has made a lot of millionaires because it's all in the implementation. These chapters that I've shared with you in the last 2 weeks have all been systematic, and they all leverage off of each other, because last week I talked about decision, and the week before that it was chapter 9 on, you know, personalized specialized knowledge. So all the chapters are in sync with each other and they leverage upon each other, but the book is all about the implementation. So today, chapter 13, I'm talking about the subconscious mind. Absolutely, the connecting link. So this is the 11th step to riches. So just as I shared with you 3 weeks ago when I talked about auto-suggestion or self-suggestion, one of the same thing, affirmations, all the same thing. So whatever you affirm to yourself, so basically this chapter is all about your thoughts. What are you saying? How do you say what it is that you are thinking, your thoughts? Do you affirm to yourself? And there are ways that you can affirm to yourself. And what is the process that you are using? So this chapter is very deep. So I'm not going to spend too much time, because I want you to just get the essence of this chapter. So, you know, this book is a lot. It's very powerful, but it is a lot to really digest. So the connecting link, the subconscious mind is the connecting link. So how do you energize your mind? How do you energize your subconscious? Because every thought that we are thinking throughout the day is energy. And whether those thoughts are negative or positive, it has an implication throughout our day. And sometimes, friends, we may not notice that. So let's take, for example, so say you have been overwhelmed, you've been given tasks at work, and quite often, you know, we love our job, but quite often we can't say no. And because of that, just that one fact, just because you cannot say no, you get overwhelmed, and the stress starts to form into your body, because everything's energy, from your mind, your thought, to your physical body. That energy is translated. So then you might begin to think, you know, negative thoughts. Oh my goodness, I'm going to give up. Oh my goodness, I cannot be successful. You know, and then on and on it goes. But friends, it does not have to be that way. When you can just learn to calm. Now, I'll give you an example, because this is what I do, and it's really helping me. So what I do to really, from the subconscious mind, what I do is I find a time in my schedule to just sit in a quiet place, and I, you know, take in deep breaths, because taking in the deep breaths, those deep belly breaths, really helps you to calm your mind. And I know it takes time, it takes practice, because just like meditation, I wasn't the one to ever do meditation. Ria, if you had asked me, meditation was so good for me, I would be reactive rather than proactive. I don't know about you, Ria. Do you like meditation?
I do. And
oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, I do. I try to practice it. It's really hard, you know, when you have busy life, but yes, if you can put in 5 minutes of the day into meditation, that would help strengthen your subconscious mind. I did look up what subconscious mind mean for all the listeners who does not know the importance of the subconscious mind. So subconscious mind, from my reading, is it's the guiding system. It's like the GPS. It's a data bank of all our thoughts, what we see, what we hear. They get deposited below the conscious. So that's why it's called subconscious mind. So it's a database of all the things we've observed, we've seen, we thought about, we heard. They get buried deep down in our subconscious mind. And there are interesting facts about the subconscious mind. Do you know that? And
sure,
I would like
yes.
to. So this is an iceberg, okay? The tip of the iceberg, they refer it as the subconscious mind. This is more powerful than the mind itself, a million times powerful. So this is powerful, the subconscious mind here. And this top of the iceberg, which we see, is our mind. Now, there are interesting facts about the subconscious mind. One, it records everything. It's number two, it's always alert and awake. Number three, it controls 95% of our lives. Imagine 95% of our lives. That's why with iceberg, it's very deep and we do not even see it. And that's why it controls 95% of our lives. Fourth, it is built on habituation. Habituations are habits that you do every single day, such as what you mentioned, meditation. And we're going to discuss more on how we can strengthen our subconscious mind. Fifth, it speaks to you in dreams. Your subconscious mind speaks to us in dreams. Why? Because these are the things that we thought, see, and heard. Six, it has no verbal language. Seven, it takes everything literally. Eight, it can do trillion things at once. Trillion things at once. Can you imagine?
Amazing. Oh, yeah.
Amazing. 9, it's not logical. It's the feeling mind. It is the feeling mind. And if we know that it's a feeling mind, then we know how we can strengthen it. 10, it is 1 million times powerful than the conscious mind. Can you imagine?
It's absolutely amazing, absolutely just mind-blowing. But that's why this chapter I absolutely love, and it's very powerful. Thank you so much, Ria, for sharing that. But that's why the subconscious mind is so powerful, friends, that once you begin to really learn about how to develop your subconscious mind, it is so powerful. As Ria just mentioned, it is, so your subconscious mind is your feeling mind. That's where your feelings originate from, whereas your conscious mind is your intellectual mind, your educated mind. And so your subconscious mind, because that is the most powerful, that's why the feelings take place. That's why as human beings, we feel. It's the emotions. So the feelings, the emotions, this is where they reside, in your subconscious mind. So whatever thoughts and feelings you are putting out there throughout the day, whether it's negative or positive, there's only two ways that we are actually putting thoughts out there, negative or positive. So whatever you are choosing to put out there, that is what you are going to get back. And your subconscious mind, because it hears you, it feels you, it sees you, as Ria just said, even in your sleep. And friends, you may not have known that, but even in your sleep, the subconscious mind hears what you're saying. And so it is very important especially, and that's why in the beginning, I mentioned the subconscious mind is the 11th step to riches, but then I also mentioned it is the connecting link. Your subconscious mind connects your feelings to what it is you desire. And what it is you desire, if it's the money you desire, you know, whatever X amount that may be, whatever you desire, it will come to you. And quite often, and I am guilty of this too, sometimes, you know, I'm thinking, oh my God, why isn't it coming straight away? But everything is time. Rhea, I'm not sure about you, but do you get impatient? Do you find, okay, when is the money, or when is that business, when is that property coming to me? Do you feel impatient?
Of course.
Or am I alone?
I'm with you, 100% agree on that. We're always impatient for growth and scale, but there's always a reason that things take time. It took not 3 days to build Rome. It took thousands of days.
Oh yes, absolutely. Rome was not built in a day. Absolutely, Rome was not built in a day, because I mean, nothing is, friends. And that's why I'm just going to leave this thought with you, because this is very powerful, and we can talk about it in the next, you know, we can talk about this. But right now is just for you to just digest as to what your subconscious mind is capable of giving to you, is capable of listening to what you desire. So always feed your subconscious mind, even before, and I leave this thought with you. When you go to sleep at night, when you, you know, when you go to sleep, think of positive thoughts. Think of what do you desire and how you want your day to unfold. Think out loud, speak loud, because the subconscious mind is hearing you, and it's seeing you, and it's feeling you. So whatever you feel, those thoughts that you feel, your subconscious mind feels back with you. And my friends, I just want to leave you there, because this is so powerful, so powerful. But we just have to learn how to control, learn to be one with our subconscious mind, and what the subconscious mind can give back at us, because it can give you back so much more than what you and I had truly desired or planned for. So friends, we have come to the end of the show. I want to talk more about this, because in the preceding shows, there'll be more that I just want to talk about, how when you are thinking about riches, whether in your business, in your life, the money that you truly desire, how you can do that, and how it can be achieved, and how is it possible. So friends, with that, I just want to leave this final thought with you. Rhea, do you want to share any final things and final thoughts as well?
Yes, thank you, Alka. There are 7 ways where we can activate our subconscious mind, and you did mention a few. So number 1 would be meditation. So what meditation means is just being quiet, not thinking of anything, freeing yourself of your problems, being quiet, being still, being in a quiet environment, and just not think of anything, closing your eyes and be mindful of your breath. So you take deep breaths, 3, deep breaths in and deep breaths out, deep breaths in and deep breaths out. So that's one form of meditation. Second is visualization. So how do we activate our subconscious mind? The second is visualization. So if you have a mission, if you have a goal of achieving 10 apartment units, so visualize that you have 10 apartment units, but also don't forget to visualize the steps. You have to reverse engineer the steps to getting 10 apartment units. So not only do you visualize the 10 apartment units, but you also visualize yourself talking to an agent, talking to friends and neighbors who you want to buy the property from. Try, visualize the contractors that you're gonna hire that's gonna fix your apartments. So these things, the baby steps to achieving your 10 apartment units, you have to visualize. Third, affirmation. Alka has always mentioned affirmation, affirmation. And Tony Robbins also talks about affirmation. The great gurus out there talk about affirmation. So these are positive. Yeah. Yes, very, very powerful. These are positive words that you tell yourself and you believe in it. And not only that, you've got to act on it. So for example, when my kids go to bed, I tell them, you're born to be a great leader and you have to earn it. If you must, then you can. No complaints, no excuses, and no negativity. So those just are some of the affirmation words I tell them every single night before they go to sleep. Well, we pray too before we go to sleep. Fourth is repeat for results. So what works? Do them again. Repeat for results. Fifth is music. So soothing music, Mozart, religious music, that would activate your subconscious mind. Seventh is sleep. Sleep. We all need sleep. So 8 hours of sleep is enough. So my dear friends, those are 7 ways to activate your subconscious mind. So stay tuned for more.
Thank you, Rhian. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. I mean, all those 7 we will have to learn. We have to learn and we have to implement these 7 steps into our lives to see the riches that we truly desire. So, if you leave one step out, that doesn't mean that you may not get them, but it's very important for our subconscious mind to learn to then relearn to program your subconscious mind, because as we said, it's your feeling mind, it's your emotional mind, and that's where it takes place. The emotional mind takes place in the subconscious mind. So it's hearing you, seeing you, feeling you at every step of the day and every day. It hears you. So that's why affirmations, when you say them out loud, when you write your goals, write them, rewrite your goals, but also, and there's another tip, what you also can do is to record your affirmations. So when you've written your goals, you have rewritten your goals as well. So maybe rewrite them. That's also very powerful. And also I love to record, because just by the recording and you can play soft music in the background, that's fine as well, but whatever works. And these steps, these tips that we have just shared with you, just implement on that. Think and Grow Rich. This book is all about implementation. So it's not just reading the chapters and digesting on the chapters, but it's also, you got to implement. Because as we've said, any books, whether, Robert Kiyosaki's Financial IQ, my book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, any book is all knowledge. And that is great. Knowledge is power. You need to have that. But you also need to implement if you want your life to go ahead in your personal life or in your business. You have to implement. So my friends, we have come to the end of the show. We hope you've been taking a lot of notes, because we have shared, this book is just amazing, and I absolutely love it. And I love this chapter, the subconscious mind, because it's deep. It goes so deep that, anything is possible once you learn how to program your subconscious. So friends, thank you so much for always joining us. Thank you so much for always being here with us. And Rhea and I always, we love it. We love to share our knowledge with you, because you guys are just amazing. And we cannot wait to share more knowledge. Just keep on sharing more knowledge so that you guys can be more successful to whatever endeavor you are in at this moment. And every day is just a beautiful day. So with that being said, my friends, make the rest of the day the best of the day, and stay tuned for more to come. So see you guys.
That's good, Alka. Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you, Ria. Thank you.
That's good. And do you want to do my part?
Yeah, now it's your part.
Yeah, hold on, because I have to just reread a little bit. Hold on. Sorry.
Sure. Just take your time. So what chapter are you reading on now?
It's still
it's still chapter 1.
5 financial IQ, chapter 2. Remember, we are doing
chapter 2. Okay.
Protecting your money.
Yeah.
Hold on. So I think this is very short, which is good. Okay. I'm ready.
Oh, I think I want to. Oh, you ready? Okay.
Are you ready for your next? We can even take it today. Back to back to back. We do it. We need 3. So we can do one. I do one,
okay, so
one, and then I do one. And then that's it. We're good for tomorrow.
Okay, so far. So I did one already. So now
no. That's 5 o'clock. For tomorrow, we need to do 3. We're doing tomorrow now.
Yeah, we're doing tomorrow. So we've done 2.
Yeah, I do 1, you do 1, and I do another one. We're
That's
good
3.
until Tuesday. Yes.
That's 3. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's get going then. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Ria and Alka show. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Thank you so much for always being just amazing crowd. We really enjoy being with you and always imploring our knowledge on you so that it really improves your lives. At the end of the day, that's what Ria and I want, so that your life, with personal, business, really takes off the way that you truly desire. So welcome to the show, guys. And we will, today, the topic for the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about money, mindset, and success. And what does that mean to you? So welcome, guys. My name is Alka.
And my name is Ria.
And welcome to our show. So Ria, without further ado, I'll pass the mic on to you.
Yes, thank you, Alka. So today's topic is Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Increase Your Financial IQ, our financial IQ. Now, the other day, I was talking about the 5 steps to measuring our financial intelligence. So the other day, I talked about number 1, financial IQ number 1 is making more money, right? Making more money. Now, when we make more money, financial IQ number 2 is protecting our money, So let me read you a little bit of paragraph from the book of Increase Your Financial IQ. A simple truth is that the world is out to take your money, but not all who take your money are crooks or outlaws. One of the biggest financial predators of our money is taxes.
Yeah, taxes. Ooh.
Ooh. Governments take our money legally, okay? If a person has a low financial IQ, protecting his money, he or she will pay more in taxes. Let me repeat. If a person has low financial IQ, he or she will pay more in taxes. An example of financial IQ is someone who pays 20% in taxes versus someone who pays 35% in taxes. The person who pays less in taxes has a measurable higher financial IQ. So Alka, financial IQ number 2 is protecting your money, protecting our money. And what Robert Kiyosaki says, if you have decreased financial IQ, you will pay more in taxes. So when you say, I'm paying 50% of taxes, right? So the doctor, going back to myself, before I did apartment business, my accountant says, Ria, do you know that for every dollar you make, 50% of it will go to taxes?
Wow.
50%. So now I'm only making 50 cents for every dollar. So he said, think about it. He told me, Alka, can you imagine? He told me, why don't you, resign from your work and not work? And I'm like, really? I love working. That's why I came here to the US to be a doctor. I cannot just give up on my work just because I make for every dollar I make, 50 cents of it goes to the government. And he says, well, think about it. And so I tried to read on books. I tried to figure out how I could reduce my taxes. So I've actually replaced that accountant. So I went to a different accountant. You always, like when we talked about mastermind, right? The teams we have, they need to be aligned. So if your team members are not aligned with you, don't be stuck. You're not a tree. Go move and find a different mentor. Go find another team.
I love that.
You're not a tree. Don't get stuck there. Find another mentor who is aligned with you. So what we did, we actually had like 3 or 4 accountants before we have our accountant now, and he's been with us since 2014. So we've been with him since 2014, but before 2014, we've been changing accountants. So what I did was I read first, I read on personal development, I read on ways how I can reduce my taxes. And then I personally found the accountant that's aligned with me to be part of my mastermind. So now that's why I have this accountant since 2014, because we're aligned. So how did I reduce my taxes? So yes, I'm no longer working as a physician, just like what my accountant previously mentioned. Ria, either you stop working as a physician, or the other choices was I become a physician, I still become a physician, but then I have my own medical practice. So having a medical practice in my place is very difficult because we're monopolized by one big, gigantic, health system. So there's not any private medical offices in my location. So it was very hard for me to combat a Goliath. So I didn't have my own medical practice because I was combating Goliath. That's for sure a loss there. So I didn't do that. The third one was, he said, okay, if you cannot have a medical office, why don't you as a physician work as a 1099 contractor? 1099 contractor versus a W-2 are 2 different things. A 1099 contractor, you control your time, you have your own tools and equipments. An employee, a W-2 employee, has to follow your employer's schedule. When you say you're going to clock in at 8 o'clock, you must clock in at 8 o'clock and leave at 5 o'clock if that's your contract. So an employee has to abide by the set rules and regulations provided by the employer. If you're there working for 40 hours, you've got to work there for 40 hours. A 1099 contractor does not clock in, does not clock out. The 1099 contractor controls his time. He brings all his tools and equipments. The W-2 employee, the employer provides all the tools and equipment. So what my accountant told me, one of my mastermind, he said, if you cannot be an employee, if you don't want to be an employee, be a 1099. But here again, my employer do not want 1099 contractors. They want W-2 employees. They want to make sure that you're in there at 8 o'clock and leave there at 5 o'clock. So then I could not do a 1099 being a physician. So fourth was I ventured into the apartment space. That's where we bought 1 single family at a time as a part-time physician until I invested in my personal development, until I know that that was the right vehicular investment for us, that I slowly laid down my white coat and went full-time into apartment business. Now, because we have apartment business, we are incentivized by the government to have tax breaks. Why? Because we are solving our community's problem of housing shortage. So we're providing beautiful housing to our tenants. We're providing jobs. When we have a repairs and maintenance, when we're improving the facade of the building, the inside of the buildings, we're hiring local contractors. We're hiring local cleaners. So this employs a lot of people in our community. And therefore, since we are solving the community's problem, then the government gives us tax breaks. And if that's true for me, that's true for you too. That's true for everyone. in a democratic country.
That is so true in a democratic country, because you do not want to be anywhere else, because, you know, we're lucky, we're fortunate being in a democratic country that we have everything in our grasp. We just have to know how to take it, how to take it, how to utilize to our benefit. So, you know, so when it comes to taxes, we do not want to pay so much in taxes if we can afford, if we know how to, which is a question, that's the key point, is how can you not pay more in taxes than if you really have to? So Ria, you know what, I think it comes down to, as you mentioned, you know, you got to be educated. You've got to be educated in the sense of, you know, when it comes to money, how do you deploy your money? What are you doing? What are the ways that people can really sort of educate? Like, you know, we're talking about physicians, because, you know, you were a physician, so it's only natural just to bring that point. So a physician. So I know when I was working as a medical secretary in the hospital in the UK, and there were doctors, there were, you know, they were, you know, general surgeons, but they also had their private practice. So they had the financial IQ. So whether you were an experienced doctor for a good 20, 30 years, or you were a junior doctor, even some of the junior doctors, they're in general surgery, but they also have their own private practice. So the question comes down to whether you're a physician, whether you are in any endeavor, but do you have that financial IQ? So as I had mentioned also in the Think and Grow Rich book about specialized knowledge, it's not all about the abundance of knowledge, which is great because knowledge is power, but how far can power just get you? But you also need to know, and you need to know how you can really escalate to how you desire your life to be. So there are some people, Ria, that, you know, they know the financial IQ, they're very well adapted to how they see the progression when it comes to money and riches.
So yes, thank you for that, Alka. Now going back to financial IQ, which is protecting our money. Remember, how do we protect our money? And what did the book say? Number one, it's not the crooks, it's the taxes. And yes, it is our patriotic duty to pay less in taxes. Why? It is patriotic duty to pay less in taxes because that means we are solving our government's problem. For example, Warren Buffett, do you think he's paying a lot of taxes? It is his patriotic duty to reduce his taxes. And how does he do that? By having a lot of big businesses. Coca-Cola, Geico, what else? Berkshire Hathaway, a lot of insurance, right? I mean, it is his patriotic duty to reduce his taxes because that means that he's bringing a lot of jobs. You know, he's a big employer. He's bringing a lot of jobs. He's helping stimulate the government, the community, the world, the country, right? So think of Warren Buffett, who's a very wealthy billionaire, and yet he pays zero tax, less tax than his secretary. Can you imagine a secretary? Less tax than his secretary. So success leaves clues. Find the people where you're aligned to. So if you're into stocks, find somebody who's doing stocks. If you're in the apartment space, find somebody who's doing the apartment space. You know why? Because they've already figured out how to protect their money. And all we've got to do is reverse engineer what we have. Visualize. If you want apartment space 10 for the year, then we have to reverse engineer. How do we get from 1 to 10? What are the needed steps we've got to reach to 10 apartment units? Don't just visualize the 10, but also visualize the steps, the process to get there. I know it's hard, especially the nitty-gritty granular details of getting to 10 apartment units, but that's what we need to do in order for us to get to 10 units.
Definitely, absolutely. It's always in the nitty-gritty, small, minute details that we find it difficult sometimes to like really lay out the plan. But that is where, you know, the magic truly happens, is when you have a plan, a concrete plan, just like in the book, Think and Grow Rich. It's all about your desires, but it's all about the organized plan. It's not merely just you wanting something. So it's not merely like a hope and a wish. No, to get your desires, to have the desires you truly want, it's got to be organized, and you've got to have a plan, because without any plan of any shape or size, you won't get there. I mean, Bob Proctor has talked about it. Think and Grow Rich book. This book is so powerful. It talks about the implementation. You got to implement. So just like, you know, what Rhea had just mentioned, it is absolutely 100% true. You have to know how. And Rhea, also Warren Buffett, he lives in a very modest home. Yes, he knows how to reduce taxes even more so than his secretary, but he also lives in his means, meaning he lives in a very modest home. He hasn't changed his home, and neither will he do so. But that just goes to show, even Warren Buffett, man of his stature, a billionaire, and yet he's figured out a way that is possible. So how is he doing it? What is his secret? Rhea just mentioned that's his secret. So we just need to know how we need to do and just implement by taking actions, but having a plan. So Rhea, I just passed the mic on to you again.
All right. So my final words for you guys, just like what Alska said, I love this one. If your plan is to fail, then you're failing to plan. So plan, organized planning, very important.
Definitely. Organized planning, taking actions, taking those, you know, actionable steps is going to get you to your desired goals. And so, friends, we have come to the end of the show. Rhea, thank you so much for that. Amazing. I hope you guys took a lot of notes, because it truly is powerful once you learn how to manage money and how you can plan for your family and future generations to come, because that is what we care about. So for you to be successful. So friends, thank you so much for joining us. It's always been a pleasure. We love being with you and sharing a knowledge that we can implore onto you for your successful life. So friends, we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. So in the meantime, bye for me, guys.
Bye. All right. Next, Alka, your book.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you know, this is not a perfect segue. Okay. The subconscious mind. And now I'm talking about the brain. Oh my goodness. Okay. The brain.
Yeah, the mind now.
The mind, yes.
Yeah, the mind.
The mind. Okay, so this is the brain. So this is the broadcasting and receiving station. Oh wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
Broadcasting and receiving station for thought.
That's the conscious mind now.
No, it's the brain.
It's the brain. Okay.
Chapter 14, the brain.
The brain.
So the broadcasting and receiving station. Broadcasting, receiving station. This is the 12th riches, the 12th step to riches. So the brain, just okay, so you know what, we'll just keep it very short. The broadcast receiving station. Oh, amazing. See, you know, that's what I love about this book, is that it's just very perfectly weaves into one chapter to another. That subconscious mind, very perfect. And now it's the brain.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful. So, okay, guys. All right. So yeah, so we're talking about the brain, and I love it. So cool. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the morning show, to Ria and Alka show. We're always great to see you. Always love being with you because we love sharing our knowledge from our books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and Ria's Robert Kiyosaki's Financial IQ. So we'd love to see you. Welcome. And my name is Alka.
My name is Ria, and welcome to our show.
And so, friends, welcome. So yesterday I talked about the subconscious mind, and wow, wasn't that powerful? If you think it was powerful, type powerful in the chat, because the subconscious mind is everything and is how we learn to program our subconscious, is where everything begins to happen. And that's where the magic really starts. Once you learn to program your subconscious, and we talked about this, whether it's through affirmations, auto-suggestions, when you write your goals, you need to rewrite your goals. So that is already the memory that is already honed in. So the more you write your goals, whether it's on pen, whether it's on a notepad, that is where the magic starts to happen. And sometimes, you know, we might say that we need to write our goals, why not on the phone? Well, the phone does not have that energy, the power, as the notepad does, you know, with pen and paper, because you're putting down your thoughts onto the paper. It's not the same energy as if you were to write your goals on a phone. So that's why it's been said by so many mentors that writing our goals is on a pen, you know, on a pad, on a notepad, because you're just transmuting from your thought directly on the paper. And so the subconscious mind is all about the feeling, and that's where your feelings and your emotions reside. So you really want to be careful as to what you are saying, so that it becomes more powerful. So your thoughts are very powerful. So we only have the two methods. It's either negative or it's positive, what you are feeding every day to really have what you desire. So chapter 14 is just a perfect segue from the subconscious mind I talked about yesterday to today. I want to talk about, and which is the brain, which is the broadcasting station for your thoughts. So that is so powerful, and that's why I love this chapter, is because it's the broadcasting station, whereas your subconscious is the connecting link from your conscious to your subconscious mind. And so your subconscious mind is where every magic starts to happen, because your subconscious hears you, feels you, and it sees you. So that is so powerful right there. It sees you, it feels you, and it hears you. So whatever you are saying, so I like to, you know, before I, you know, turn for the night, I like to say affirmations, and I put on really beautiful soft music that I am saying affirmations. And you can even find, you know, guided meditations if that is your choice. You can find guided meditations on YouTube. You know, there's so many great music choice. So I love to listen to guided meditation. So that really relaxes me, meditation, but also affirmations. So the broadcasting station, so if you think of your brain, Ria, you can also jump in on this as well, since being a physician. So the brain is the most powerful tool that we have, and we learn to use the brain in the right way, You know, so the broadcasting is the energy, it's the vibrations that are sent out. So every day, the thoughts that we are putting into our mind is powerful, because it's what you put in is what you will get out. And so your brain, if you think about what you are feeding and what you are putting in every day, is going to get back. It's going to give back to you out. What you put in is going to give out that same energy back to you. So Ria, any thoughts you also want to chime in on this about the brain? It's very powerful.
Yes, thank you, Alka. And yes, so I agree with you that every human brain is a broadcasting. Broadcasting is when you are sending signals, and it's also a receiving station of the vibration of our thoughts. Now, there is an author, one of my mentors said, the greatest real estate out there. Do you know, Alka? Do you know what's the greatest real estate out there? The greatest real estate out there. Do you know what it is?
No. Oh, your mind?
Yes, the brain and the mind, our brain and our mind. From here to here is the greatest real estate out there. Here. Wow. It's a broadcasting and receiving station of the vibration of our thoughts. So we have to guard our brain. We have to guard our thoughts, because, like, you know, our mentor says, no negativity. So that's why I don't listen to the news. Why? Because I guard my brain. I guard my thoughts. Why? In 2020, when they said, oh, everybody shut down, and what did I do? My brain also shut down. Why? Because I was feeding my brain 24/7 the news, all about COVID. Don't go out. People are dying. So what happened to my business? I stopped buying. I stayed on in this same place. I was eating from the fear. I was eating, putting more food into my mouth and staying in fear, because I was feeding my mind 24/7, you know, looking at the news every day. What's going on with COVID? We can't go out. Right? So what happened? I gained weight and I stopped buying properties. So can you imagine, from March to December, I only bought one. Because why? I stopped buying more properties because of the fear. So you have to safeguard your important real estate, which is just right here. So no negativity, guys, no negativity.
Exactly, negativity, no negativity. Just like you, Ria, I absolutely, you know, and I know for most of us, you know, we like to be in touch with the news. We like to be in touch as to what's going on. But if we are choosing now to really improve our lives, and Ria and I want to implore the knowledge on you so that you change your life today to how you see your life in the next 5-10 years. And it's going to be drastic once you really learn to implement your subconscious, and once you learn to implement the brain, the mind, as we just mentioned, your mind is most powerful. And so Ria, just like you know, 2020 COVID, and I did not want to listen at all because I knew what was going on. And that doesn't mean that we need to switch on the news every couple of hours. Oh my, let me see any changes. Let me see what's the government going to say. Well, nothing was going to happen because it was COVID. So the COVID just started. So the essence of what we are sharing is that your mind is a broadcasting station that is a receiving knowledge, but it also gives out the knowledge to the outside world as to what you are putting out there in your mind. So your mind is very sacred. Your brain is the most powerful machine that we have. It operates, it does not sleep. It's operating continuously on 24/7. It's there. And the subconscious mind also is, like I said, is the connecting link from your thoughts to your feelings. and your emotions. So it does not sleep, is there with you. And that's why it's so powerful. Once we learn to how we can program and how we can truly live the way we desire. So once we learn how to really implement on these tools, which is the brain and the mind that connect together with our thoughts and feelings, of course, and your emotions, because your emotions too is everything. So whether you are, you are sad, you are, you're elated, you feel joyous, you're happy, these are all the emotions that, you and I go through. And it's up to us to really learn how we can program our mind, how we can be on that status quo, so we don't go. It's almost like a thermostat. If we look at it, it's like a thermostat, right, Ria? Your brain is like a thermostat. So your emotions is like a thermostat. When it can go high, it can go low, and it's up to us how we, stay at that plateau, so that we don't, your vibrations, your energy, your vibration stays in that core. It does not go above or below. So just like a thermostat would. If you're in a cold room and it's cold, you've opened the door, the thermostat is going to come back, and it's going to be warm. So it's just automatic. Your thermostat automatically knows that. And it's just like your brain, your mind. Your mind will know, okay, so how it's going to come back to that status quo. Ria, what are your final thoughts on this brain, this huge, humongous, powerful topic, the brain, and what the brain is capable of achieving?
So two things. One, you talked about the thermostat. And what came into my mind is we've got to always raise our thermostat. What that means is if we're set at 70 and we're so comfortable at the thermostat of 70, my dear friends, we are not growing. We need to be comfortable at the uncomfortable. So we need to set our thermostat higher and higher all the time. We cannot just auto set it at 70. Raise your standards, raise your thermostat. Number two, money without the brain is dangerous. Money without the brain is dangerous. Protect your brain.
Exactly. Protect your brain is your God-given real estate. Protect your brain, and do not let anyone interfere with the thoughts that they're going to put inside of you. And that's why we need to safeguard our mind, to not let the external noises come into play, whether it's community, family, friends. And that's why we need, is your mind, your brain as a whole, the unit is secret, is what we allow in, is who we allow in, and it's what we allow in that is going to influence us at the end of the day, influence us throughout the day. And what I mean by that are the thoughts that you are putting in to your mind. What are you feeding? Are you feeding negativity? Are you feeding positivity? Is your choice. So Ria and I would rather you choose the positive route, because it's a positive route that is going to change you. It's going to change your life, whether personal or business. It's going to change you. So, you want that too, friends. I know you want that for yourself, for your family, and your future generations. They depend on you. So I have worked so hard on this, and this book, Think and Grow Rich, truly has helped me, and every day it continues to help me, because I choose only positivity, nothing else. And it does not matter. I don't give, I don't believe in what others are putting into me, because you know why? Because at the end of the day, I control me. I don't control anyone else. I'm not there for anyone else, but I'm there for me. And if I can improve my life one day at a time, so can you. So can you, my friends. You can improve your life every single day. And it's how you will learn and how you can relearn. And as we said about your goals, write your goals down on a pen and paper, because that's where your thoughts are channeling from your thoughts to your notepad, because you're transmuting energy. So the brain, this chapter is unbelievably powerful, Rhea. I mean, I'm just having like goosebumps just even thinking about it, because it's the potential that your brain has. This unit is the potential that your brain has, and it's a God-given unit that we all have been given by God. So it's how we'll learn to use it. So I'm just going to leave my final thoughts with you, is that, you know, the brain is the most sacred, as we have shared. It's the most sacred part that you can ever have. And that's why you need to use it wisely. Choose the thoughts that you use wisely. Choose the people who are feeding thoughts into you wisely. Disregard them if it does not make sense. Disregard it and just move on. And so we have come to the end of the show, and this has just been amazing, Rhea. I just love this because, you know, it's just utilizing our mindset. What do you want to share with that, Rhea? It's your mindset, right? At the end of the day, so what we have nothing but controlling our mindset.
That is right. My final
again.
I thought you were gonna end it. My last and final thought is, we have a brain, you have a brain, you have a mind, I have a mind. Use it.
Use it.
Go use it and make our own decisions.
Absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. Make your own decisions, because at the end of the day, you are the ones that we are the ones who are responsible to how we truly live our life and live the best life possible. So using your brain the right way that God has given us to really cultivate, you know, beautifully, and the way that it was chosen to be, and that is with the right, feeding the right information. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Rhea, do you want to share? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love always being with you, and Rhea and I always have so much fun. So we will see you tomorrow. Take care in the meantime. Be good to your mind. Be good to how you are feeding your mind. And we will see you same time, same place.